Good morning，早晨啊，大家，今日咧嚟到我哋第14日咧，日日講女人經。咁今日咧，我哋邀請到咧 KERRYN SAWYER 咧，嚟同我哋分享咧草本食療咧5個要注意嘅地方。咁咧 KERRYN SAWYER，Hi Kerry。Hi
Samantha, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so happy that you are here. Explain all this theory because I think some of my friends not very clear about what plant-based is, what is vegan, what is vegetarian. So we are going to give a bit of tips about plant-based weight loss today, right?
Beautiful. Yes, we are.
Give me a minute. I'm going to translate that in Cantonese. Like we said, we're trying to make our audience understand what we are doing here. 咁咧，我哋今日Kerry 咧，佢係一位咧草本食療減重專家嚟嘅。咁佢咧亦都係 Yahoo 咧頭10大嘅女性嘅人生導師啦。咁咧 plant-based 其實我哋好多人都唔知道咩叫 plant-based 草本食療呢件事嘅。咁咧 Kerry 今日會同我哋解釋咧咩叫 vegan 啦，咩叫 vegetarian 同埋咩叫 plant-based 嘅分別。同埋咧，要5點要注意。如果你想利用草本食療嚟減肥嘅話咧，我哋有5大點需要注意嘅。All right, shall we get started?
Well, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's clarify what is vegan, what is vegetarian, and what is plant-based first.
Okay, I'll start with vegetarian. Okay. Vegetarian is someone who does not eat any animal flesh. So no beef, no chicken, no pork, no fish, but they still eat anything that's dairy, so milk, cheese, butter, etc., and they still eat eggs.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So vegetarian 咧，即係素食者啦。素食者咧，我哋就係唔食肉，但係咧唔食肉咧，可以食菜，可以食蛋類嘅嘢啦，可以食奶啦，可以食 cheese 啦，可以食呢啲製過嘅食物。咁咧呢一種就叫 vegetarian 啦。咁第二種咧就係 vegan。
All right, so yeah, vegan. Vegan is somebody who eats no animal products whatsoever. So no animal flesh, no eggs, no dairy, no honey. But they also don't consume any products where an animal is involved. So that extends beyond food. So to clothing, to any products tested on animals, to any industry that uses animals in an exploitative way.
OK， 咁咧 vegan 咧就係咧再闊啲嘅層面咧 ，vegan 咧其實係除咗咧我哋唔食肉之外啦，唔食蛋啦，唔可以食奶類嘅嘢啦，但係咧 vegan 係可以食製過食物嘅，譬如係假嘅肉類啦，或者係製過啲漢堡扒啊咩食呢啲可以，但係佢再 extend 得遠少少咧，就係咧佢會關注動物社群係點啊，譬如有啲護膚產品係有做個 animal test 嘅，喺啲動物身嗰度做 test 嘅，咁呢啲 vegan 都唔會掂嘅，即係譬如嗰啲衫啊，係啲動物個身嗰度攞出嚟，譬如係藥皮草啊呢啲咁樣咧，咁就唔着嘅，同埋唔食 honey 啊，即係製過嘅嘢就可以食，但係有關於傷害到動物嘅健康嘅嘢咧，佢哋就唔做嘅。咁咧第3類 is plant-based.
Great, yes. Okay, so plant-based. Plant-based is someone who does not eat any animal products. So no meat, no egg, no dairy. But they also don't eat any highly processed foods. And by that, I mean white flour, processed sugars, white bread, faux meat patties, dairy replacements, biscuits, cakes, anything that's really not from nature and not made or made in a factory.
咁咧嗱 plant-based 咧呢個就非常之唔同啦。plant-based 咧其實最主要嘅分別就係咧，佢唔食任何製過嘅嘢，譬如白麵粉啊、白糖啊、餅啊、蛋糕啊，呢啲全部同咧個 nature 冇關係嘅。咁當然唔食肉啊、唔食奶啊、唔食乜嘢咧。但係咧 ，I think the skincare product is less serious, not like vegan, right? You still can use those kind of skincare on animals,
well,
right?
Yeah, so a person can be both plant-based and vegan. So, so you can be both. But plant-based doesn't necessarily extend beyond food.
OK，咁咧 plant based 咧就即係冇特定界定，你唔可以用嗰啲有動物身上測試過嘅 skin care 之類咧，但係咧你可以兩樣都係做都得嘅，即係咧你可以同時關注動物社群啦，亦都可以咧 plant based 其實主要係關注食療嘅嘢咧係同大自然有關嘅，所有製過嘅嘢咧有白糖啊咩剩呢啲咧，連蜜糖都係喎，咁咧我哋都唔食嘅，咁呢個就叫 plant based 啦。咁咧 Kerry 咧佢就係呢個plant-based weight loss 嘅專家嚟嘅，咁佢自己咧都透過用呢個 plant-based 咧幫助咗好多人咧，包括佢自己咧，佢都減咗好多磅嘅。咁我哋嚟緊就會講佢嚟緊 5 tips
to plant-based weight loss. Okay.
Yeah, plant-based weight loss. Yeah.
Tip number 1. Okay. Focus on what I call green light foods. So these are whole plant foods, including things like fruits, vegetables, both starch and non-starch, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, herbs and spices.
咁咧Terry 咧就話咧，我哋要集中喺咧食一啲咧，即係綠色嘅植物啊，綠色嘅植物咧，咁有 starch 同冇 starch， 即係有澱粉同冇澱粉都得嘅。咁咧你可以食一啲herbs 叫咩？即係好似啲香草之類嗰啲嘢啦，或者辣嘅嘢咧，呢啲都可以食嘅。集中喺食啲乾淨 clean 嘅個 food 嘅，即係 clean，唔好集中食啲製過啊咁嘅嘢嘅。Yes.
These particular foods, why we want to focus on these is they're very nutrient rich but calorie poor. So they're filled with fiber and water. They will slow down the digestive process and help you stay fuller for longer so you don't end up eating excess calories. So you also lose about 10% of the calories that you consume from fiber straight down the toilet. So bonus there.
Yes. Right. This is still the tip 1 or tip 2? Sorry.
This is still tip 1. This is why those foods are beneficial.
Yeah. 咁咧佢就係話到咧我立時間轉唔切咧。Would you mind repeat one more time? I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yep. Green light foods are great because they're nutrient rich and calorie poor. They are high in fiber and water. So they fill you up, but on less calories. So you end up eating less calories overall. And they slow down your whole digestive process and help you stay for longer.
死啦！我立時之間唔知點樣 translate， 希望你可以聽到啦。佢意思咧，即係話你食呢啲 green 嘅食物嘅時候咧，因為咧好多 fibers 咧，即係嗰啲纖維啊，咁咧你食咗落去咧，其實係飽嘅，但係其實你水分係少咗啊嘛，咁咧所以係會健康啲咯，即係個意思，你唔會話覺得好肚餓嘅。咁shall we move on to point number 2?
Yeah, point number 2. Okay. We were just talking about highly processed foods before. This is avoid red light foods, which are highly processed foods, right? These foods have been stripped of key nutrients that are really important for health, or they have a whole heap of additives added to them that are really unnatural to our body. Things like artificial flavors, stabilizers, emulsifiers, thickeners, ingredients, and they're just not good for our body. So we want to avoid these as much as possible.
Yes. All right. 第二點咧就係咧，我哋盡量咧要避免一啲咧係高，即係曾經係 highly processed 嘅嘢啦，譬如係嗰啲漢堡扒啊、新肉啊呢啲咁嘅嘢都要 avoid 啦，因為咧佢哋好多有啲其他嘅成分喺裏邊嘅，咁咧我哋要避免呢啲食物嘅。
Alrighty. Right. Tip number 3 is to make sure that you get your water in. All right. So this may not be a plant food, but water is essential for weight loss. All right. do you want to explain that part first, and then I'll come back and tell
why? Let me translate for this first. 咁咧第三點咧係 stay hydrated 同埋一定要夠瞓，即係咧你一定要飲多啲水，令到你嘅身體唔好缺水同埋夠瞓嘅。咁而家 Kerry 咧就準備再解釋啦。
It's important because the body is around 70% water. Okay, there's a lot of functions in the body that we need water for, but essentially how it affects weight loss. If you are dehydrated, your body throws up extra signals to your brain for food. Extra food, because food contains water. If you're not going to drink water, it knows you're going to eat food. So it's going to make you eat something so that it can get water. And that is another way we end up overeating calories and putting on weight.
All right, let me translate that. 咁咧Kerry 就話咧，我哋個身體裏面咧70% 都係水，但係如果你個身體裏面係缺水嘅時候咧，咁咧你個大腦就會發出一啲 signal 話俾你聽去食啲嘢啦咁樣。咁咧如果你唔夠水嘅時候咧，你就會個大腦成日叫你食啲嘢，咁你就做唔到減肥呢個效果啦。所以咧你一定要 keep 住自己夠水。
And how much water is enough for the body? I usually start with around 2 liters per day, but it varies by person. It's going to vary on where you live, if you live in a hot climate, how much activity you do, the size of your body even. The best way to tell though, if you're hydrated, is your urine should be a light yellow colour. If dark orange color, you are dehydrated. Drink some more water.
I see. 咁咧，另外一個方法咧就係點樣去Kerry 就講到佢每個人要飲水嘅量都唔同嘅，譬如好似佢咁樣咧，佢一日要飲2個 liter 嘅。咁咧就要視乎當地嘅天氣啦，同埋當地嗰個環境啦，或者你嘅體重、你嘅體型啦，你越大可能就要飲多啲水啦。咁Kerry 就講咗個方法咧，好簡單，俾大家可以測試到睇下自己有冇跌下追即缺水啦。咁如果一個健康唔缺水嘅尿液咧，應該係呈現淺黃色嘅。咁如果咧你嘅尿液係譬如橙色或者好深色咧，即使你已經係缺水啦。咁每個人都唔同嘅。咁 Kerry 佢咧就 suggest 起碼2個 liter 每一日嘅。
All right. Tip number 4, I think we're at. Tip 4 is sleep. Essential. Yes. Sleep is essential for weight loss, okay? 7 to 9 hours per night. Our body goes through detox and repair mode at night while we're sleeping. So if we're getting a lack of sleep, it doesn't go through that process. And all sorts of other implications can roll on as a result of that. So I'll let you explain that one first, and then I'll come back and talk more.
咁 Kerry 就話咧，一個人咧瞓覺好緊要，唔夠瞓嘅人咧都會好中意食嘢㗎，因為咧一個人咧係要瞓7至到9個鐘頭一日嘅最起碼。咁咧如果你瞓得唔夠咧，可能你身體裏面代謝各樣都會冇咁即係冇咁 effective 啦。咁 Kerry 準備再解釋。
Yeah, okay. So when you are tired, the effects that being tired will have on the body with regards to weight loss is it's going to increase your stress levels. It increases emotional distress and mood disorders. It creates memory problems and brain fog as well, and it can lead to certain types of diseases. But when we are stressed out, we're tired, we're emotional, we're more likely to reach for comfort foods or alcohol, things like that, extra calories to soothe our emotions, to relieve our stress. That is how we end up, one way we can end up consuming more calories than we need. Another way is when we're tired, the body will throw up signals to the brain again for more food, because food, particularly sugar, is energy to the body. So that's how sleep can impact the amount of energy that we end up consuming.
Alright， 咁咧 Kerry 啱啱就係講到咧，如果我哋唔夠瞓咧，其實最大問題咧就我哋會產生咗 stress 啦，即係會有壓力啦。當你 stress 嘅時候咧，或者你感覺到好似即係好攰嘅時候咧，你個大腦話俾你聽你 stress， 你會個大腦話俾你聽你要去食啲嘢嘅。 會叫你食啲，咁你咧或者去飲啲嘢，或者去飲啲 alcohol，咁咧你凡係啲 alcohol 啊食嘢就係啲 extra 嘅 calories 嚟嘅，咁你 extra calories 咧你變咗你又即係同你之前嘅計劃唔一樣啦，所以咧我哋足夠嘅睡眠令到你嘅身體咧唔好產生一個壓力嘅狀態，一個壓抑一個壓力嘅狀態咧，你就會去揾啲嘢食。食嘢好多時都係會揾啲高糖分嘅嚟食嘅 ，high sugar，right？ comfort food，right？ 即係令到你覺得食咗好似舒服啲啊，好似滿足啲啊，咁咧就係呢一個我哋要夠瞓咧就係重要嘅。
All right. Tip number 5, last tip.
Yeah.
Eat for hunger and hunger alone. Stop when you've had enough before you get full. Explain that one. You translate that one, and then I'll come back and explain.
I can translate so easily because that's what I say all the time. And 呢個第5點咧好緊要啦，我哋中國人咧就係有一個即係調轉嘅，我哋咧一日3餐4餐5餐要好準時食嘅，但係其實咧我哋講緊咧，你淨係食嘢，你當你肚餓 ，only when you hunger， 即係當你肚餓先要食嘢，咁咧同埋當你食嘅時候咧，唔好食到飽晒嘅 100% full， 我哋要食即係食到夠就好停啦。
So anytime we are eating that is not for hunger,or we're overeating, we're consuming calories that our body does not need. So we don't want to eat we're not going to eat for pleasure, to relieve stress or other emotions. We're not going to eat because we're tired, because we're bored, because we need a break, because it tastes good, because it's a habit, because it's there, because it's free, because someone gave it to you and you don't want to feel bad by saying no, all right? All of that sort of eating leads to overeating.
Yeah, you know, in our culture, we have to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea time on time. So, like, no matter you're hungry, you're not hungry, a dabla on the table, we have to get ready.
And if your body's hungry, then that's good. You can train your body to be hungry at those times. But if you're not hungry, your body doesn't need that energy.
Okay, let me explain that. 咁咧 ，Kerry 就講到咧，我哋咧唔好。即係 take 一啲無謂多出嚟嘅卡路里，我哋中國人好中意準時食嘢，係咪？但係咧，如果當你其實你唔係真係好肚餓，同埋你呢個習慣咧係可以改變，慢慢調少啲，慢慢調少啲。我自己加落去啦，我成日教我啲小朋友咧食嘢唔好食到100% 飽7分飽，因為你嗰7分飽又唔餓死你，但係你會真正享受到個食物啦。但係當你係咁食嘅時候，你個多出嚟嘅卡路里就消化唔到，同埋你成個 cycle 咧就改變唔到。咁 Kerry 就話，無論如果你真係唔肚餓，人哋俾你食，你又唔好意思推嘅時候咧，其實你要諗下你自己嘅健康先係 number one 嘅。所以咧，我哋都唔好即係覺得唔好意思推人哋啦，唔食嘢嘅話，唔食就唔食啦，或者食少啲咯。即係我哋好難推噶嘛，可能食少啲咯，即係將個份量減少。I said maybe we can, you know, in our culture it's very hard to say no to people's offer you, right? Maybe we can eat just 10% or 20% what people offer you, then will make things easier. Yeah, we can start with that.
Yeah, and we've got to become okay with saying no. It's okay.
Yeah, we have to become okay to say no. 呢樣嘢我哋每個人都要學嘅，有時真係唔需要就唔需要啦，講到明唔需要嘅，自己同自己講。
And stopping before you get full is really key. Many people have been raised to clean their plate no matter how much is on there. And any food that you eat beyond full is a waste. It's extra calories. It's your body can't use it. Your body doesn't need it just yet. Okay, it's going to be stored on your body as body fat for a later date.
Yeah， 咁咧，如果你唔喺你飽之前咧，你飽之前停落嚟咧，其實你會好容易即係產生咗呢個習慣咧，會不斷人哋俾你要食晒為止，食到個碟清晒為止。咁咧，我哋要學識 say no 啦，學識 say no， 喺飽之前就好停手啦。Yes。
Yes, and one way that many people overeat is because they eat too fast. It takes time for our brain our stomach to tell our brain that we've had enough. And it usually takes 15 to 20 minutes. So if we're eating a meal really quickly, then we can be full before our brain realizes it, before we stop. And we only realize minutes down the track that, I ate too much. So eating slowly and taking around 20 minutes to eat your meal will make sure brain and stomach stay engaged, stay in touch with where the fullness is at.
OK，Kerry 就話到咧，我哋食嘢咧要盡量食慢啲，因為咧要令到你由開始食嘢到你個大腦識反應咧係15到20分鐘嘅時間。我哋大部分人咧增重咧都係因為食嘢食得好快，喺你個大腦有信息發俾你之前咧，你已經係咁食咗一大堆，食到個碟乾淨晒。咁所以咧，我哋要學識食嘢食慢啲，等個腦話俾你聽，你其實已經夠啦，慢啲。咁咧你就可以慢慢調節呢一個習慣啦。Wow, thank you so much, Kerry. That's a lot of information, and we get to know what plant-based is really is really brilliant idea, and especially like processed meat nowadays, they're like everywhere, right?
It is, yeah. It's great for people transitioning away from eating animals, but when we eat a lot of processed food in our life, we're setting ourselves up for poor health and weight gain. So getting back to natural, getting back to whole foods is what's really healthy for us.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And when you eat clean, you feel like your mind is very, very fresh as well, and you enjoy food even more. You will have food in quality instead of only quantity. I think.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you feel so different. You've got so much energy. You feel so alive. Yeah, and you're in good health as well.
Yes.
If anybody wants my 5 tips, I have a PDF download. They just need to reach out to me or reach out to you, Samantha, and I will forward that to them.
Perfect。咁咧嗱 ，Kerry 咧佢會喺我哋嘅 submit 嗰度咧，都會再講更加多關於 plant-based 嘅嘢，都會 share 佢個人嘅經歷嘅分享咧，同大家分享佢嘅成長路同埋佢嘅 tips 嘅。咁咧，Kerry 佢就着今次我哋講呢個5點咧，佢都做咗一份 notes 一個 tip 咧係有5點嘅。咁如果你哋係有興趣想知道多啲關於 plant-based 嘅嘢咧 ，reach out to 我啦，或者係直接 reach out to Kerry 咧，你可以 download 呢一份 tips。咁你慢慢開始食一個乾淨嘅食療啦，令到你自己更加有能量，更加身體健康，同埋咧你食得越少，你會 enjoy 嗰個 quality，not 淨係個 quantity， 即係唔係食好多先至 enjoy， 我哋 enjoy 個 food 嘅 quality。Thank you so much, Kerryn, and thank you so much for the PDF note as well. Like I said, Kerryn is going to share much more during the summit. StrongWomen.live share her own experience and also her tips to how to start this journey, and she's been helping a lot of people successfully lose weight based on her plant-based power. So I hope all of you benefit from it, and don't forget to register your ticket in StrongWomen.live Summit. Yes.
Thank you, Samantha. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Kerryn. Lovely to see all of you. See you guys tomorrow.